Welcome to Personal Mastery Training. I'm your host, Alvin Brown, former world class athlete turned entrepreneur and consultant. Join us as we learn from guests who have conquered their inner battles and share their journeys to success. Get ready for inspirational masterclasses and thought provoking strategy sessions to fuel your path to personal mastery. Let's dive in. Everybody, welcome to another episode of Personal Mastery Training. This is a strategy episode, so that means you and I will share some time where I give you a strategy, life strategy, that I think is powerful and impactful. And these all come from, I call it the lab, my treatment room, or my coaching session. And I want to share it because one thing I know is what I'm going through, I'm not too far away from what you're going through. And in some way, you can relate. And I'm going to go back to what my mentor, Dr. Tom Hill, would always say to me: one idea, well executed, can change your life forever. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about what we are going to share today. And here's the title: Investing your time wisely. What is your ROI, your return on investment of relationships? So here's the deal. The whole idea behind this podcast is I want to share you one strategy that will help you to get control, harness your mind, your body, your soul. Because when you can do that, it's all an inner game. Life is an inner game. Whether you're in sports, life, or business, it's an inner game that you must master. So here's the thing: we often hear the phrase, time is money. It's a cliche. I'm sure you've heard it before. It's been put out there many times. But what I love about these cliches and quotes that we share without thought is their wisdoms. I call them wisdoms because they're wisdoms people left behind. So, time is money. Think about it. We meticulously manage our finances, right? When we think about money, some of us manage our finances really tightly. We talk about investments, return on investments, diversification, risk assessment. We weigh the pros and cons before we spend a large sum of money, but how often do we apply the same diligent thought process to our most valuable and non renewable resource is our time? Today, I want us to metaphorically connect the dots between how we spend our time and how we handle our investments, particularly when it comes to relationships, both personal and professional. Now, let's imagine you have a significant sum of money. You wouldn't throw it all at the first object you see or the first stock or whatever it might be. By the way, I used to do this, funny enough. You'd research, you'd look at the potential returns, you'd consider the long term benefits versus the short term gratification. You think about whether this investment of your hard earned money aligns with your overall financial goals. This is for those people who have taken that time to actually look where their hard earned money goes. A lot of us, and this used to be me in the past, would just frivolously spend it. Again, that connection with time and money is so crucial. Now, apply the same lens to your time. Every moment, every hour, every day is an allocation of your most precious asset. How are you spending it versus investing it? When we spend time, it's often a consumption. It's a fleeting moment of pleasure, a distraction, a way to pass the hours without much thought for the future. Think about endless scrolling on social media, binge watching shows that don't truly enrich you, or engaging in conversations that leave you feeling drained rather than fulfilled and energized. These are often time expenses. They offer little or no long term return on your investment. Sometimes a little distraction is okay when you've been overwhelmed, you've been working hard and on the grind. A little bit of distraction is okay. But too many of us spend that time. Becomes 90% of our extra time. But think about it now. But when we invest time, think about that was spending time. When we spend time doing these distractions, Now, when we invest time, we actively and consciously are allocating it with an expectation of a positive return. This return might not be financial, it could be emotional, intellectual, relational, or even spiritual. Let's take relationships, for example. We often talk about spending time with loved ones. And yes, there's a joy in simply being present. But I challenge you now to elevate that concept to investing time in your relationships. One of my clients pointed this out with his kids and his wife, and he found out he and his wife were spending time doing tasks with the kids, getting them off to bed, getting them from school, doing this, doing that. They weren't investing time enjoying the joy of being a parent. They're just overwhelmed. So think of it like this: initial investment. This is the building trust. When you first meet someone, whether it's a potential business partner or a new friend, you're making an initial investment. You're sharing a little bit of yourself, listening, learning. You're assessing the potential for positive return. A strong connection, mutual respect, shared goals. If you if you go into it just spending time, you might not be present. You might not truly listen, and the relationship might even deepen beyond the superficial level when you invest in time. Now let's use the concept of diversification. So, just as you wouldn't put all your money into one stock or an investment, you shouldn't put all your relational energy into a type of interaction, in any one type of interaction. Investing time in relationships means diversification. Sometimes it's a deep conversation, oftentimes it's shared experiences, sometimes it's practical support, other times it's just quiet companionship. Each type of interaction builds a different facet of the relationship, strengthen it to its overall, let's call it portfolio. Next, we want to look at reinvestment, nurturing and growing. A healthy financial investment isn't a one time thing, it requires ongoing attention, perhaps in reinvesting dividends, rebalancing your portfolio. Similarly, healthy relationships require continuous reinvestment. I remember meeting with my accountant, my financial advisor. Every so often, he would call me up and say, Alvin, should I take this out here and put it in here? Should I do this with it? Because the markets, it's pay attention to the markets. And he's always reinvesting so I can get the best return. Same thing as this concept. This means actively listening. This is how you're going to be reinvesting. Actively listening, showing empathy, offering support, celebrating successes, navigating challenges together. It's about being present and engaged, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. The return on this investment is deeper bonds with your person, unwavering trust, and a robust support system. Because one day you will need that. Then there's the final one, identifying non performing assets, just like in your stocks. Again, we're comparing this metaphor to the investment of your time in relationships. Just as you wouldn't continue to pour money into a failing stock with no hope of recovery, it's crucial to recognize when a relationship has become a drain rather than an asset. Sometimes a relationship becomes a non performing asset. It consistently takes more time and more energy, leaving you depleted and unfulfilled. Personal mastery involves the courage to assess these relationships honestly and, when necessary, divest your time and energy from them. This is not about being selfish. It's about protecting your emotional and mental capital. All right, so let's recap for a second here. Time. Time is your most valuable asset. We can make more money, we can't make more time. Treat it the same as you would your stocks, your finance. Thinking about how you apply these investments. Distinguish between spending time, which is consumption with little return, and investing time. This is where you're consciously choosing where to invest your time with a intention of some return, emotionally, spiritually, anything, just to enrich your soul. Applying investment mindset to your relationships. Make initial investments to build trust. Diversify your interactions to strengthen different factors of the relationship. Continuously reinvest to nurture and grow with deeper bonds. Be brave enough to identify and divest, move away from the non performing assets. Toxic relationship can drain your energy for you, for anybody around you, and it bleeds into other areas of your life. So it's worth that. This approach to time management is crucial for achieving personal mastery in all areas of your life, personal, professional, financial, by allowing you to make conscious choices that align with your values and contribute to your growth. Remember, personal mastery is about understanding the long term compounding effect of small, consistent investments of your time. So, give that some thought. That metaphor between spending, the big thing I want you to take away is if you find yourself saying, I'm going to spend time instead of investing time, when you think about the activity that you want to do, or the relationship, or the thing you want to invest in or do with your time, are you spending time doing it or are you investing time doing it? Because when you use those words, you start to really think, huh, what am I getting from this? What am I getting? Is this investing? Am I leaving this with a return on investment 10x, 3x, anything X than when I came in? And do I need to do some evaluation on this? So think about that when it comes to personal mastery. If you know someone who needs to hear this information, remember, let's build this community together. Let's build together. Like, subscribe, share, and let's grow in 2025. We have a lot of programming coming up, mastery seminars in the fall. I'll keep you posted. All right, until next time. Peace and love. We'll talk.